Well, hi, welcome to Midday Naked Bible Study. I have in the past just been doing one video a day, and lately we've been going through the Gospel of Matthew. I decided, I'm going to try doing a little extra. So one of the things as we've been going through the Gospel of Matthew, and I keep repeating the fact that Jesus, throughout the gospel, what he's doing is he's fulfilling the prophecy. But we really didn't take time to go and explore that and basically prove it, if you would. So I want to take some time now with these extra midday videos to go through some of that over the next few days. So the first thing I want to go over is the Messiah in the prophecy will open the eyes of the blind. So if you would turn to Isaiah 35, 5 and 6, and then the eyes of the blind shall be opened, and the ears of the deaf shall be stopped. Then shall the lame man leap as a hart or deer, and the tongue of the dumb sing. For in the wilderness shall waters break out and streams in the desert. So that was prophecy in the book of Isaiah. So if we look at the first example of this, I'm looking at Matthew 9, 27 through 30. And the fame hereof went abroad in all the lands. And when Jesus departed thence, two blind men followed him, crying and saying, Thou son of David, have mercy on us. And when he come into the house, the blind men came to him, and Jesus said unto them, Believe ye that I am to do this? And they said, Yea. And they said to him, Yea, Lord. Then touched he their eyes, saying, According to your faith be it unto you. And their eyes were opened, and Jesus straightly charged them, saying, See that no man know it. Okay, prophecy fulfilled. Next example is Matthew 12, 22. So Matthew 12, 22. And then was brought unto him one possessed with a devil, blind and dumb. And he healed him, insomuch that the blind and dumb both spake and saw. All right, the next example, Matthew 20, 30 through 34. So Matthew 20, 30 through 34. And behold, two blind men sitting by the wayside, when they heard that Jesus passed by, cried out, saying, Have mercy on us, O Lord, thou son of David. And the multitude rebuked them, saying they should hold their peace. But they cried the more, saying, Have mercy on us, O Lord, thou son of David. And Jesus stood still and called them and said, What will ye that I shall do unto you? They said unto him, Lord, that our eyes may be opened. So Jesus had compassion on them and touched their eyes, and immediately their eyes received sight, and they followed him. It's just time and again. If you would turn to the book of Mark, chapter 8, verse 22 to 25. And he cometh to Bethsaida, and they bring a blind man unto him, and besought him to touch him. And he took the blind man by the hand and led him out of the town. And when he had spit on his eyes and put his hands upon him, he asked him if he saw aught. And he looked up and said, I see men as trees walking. After that he put his hands again upon his eyes and made him look up, and he was restored and saw every man clearly. If you would turn to the book of John, chapter 9. John chapter 9, verse 1 through 7. And as Jesus passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth. And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? And Jesus answered, saith, Neither hath this man sinned nor his parents, but that the works of God may be made manifest in him. I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. The night cometh when no man can work. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. And when he had thus spoken, he spat on the ground and made clay of the spittle, and he anointed the eyes of the blind man with the clay, and said unto him, Go wash in the pool of Siloam, I may be pronouncing that wrong, which is by interpretation sent. He went his way therefore and washed and came seeing. So there you go. There's some prophecy in the book of Isaiah being fulfilled in the Gospels. Gospel being Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Now, why it just, and I want to put this in perspective, and I'll repeat this again the next few days, but all right, a lot of people have this notion in their head that the Bible, a handful of guys sat down, just wrote a bunch of stuff, and of course it all aligned, it all was in harmony. But these books were written hundreds of years apart. So to give you a good example of what I mean, the book of Isaiah was written approximately 700 years before the gospel were written. 700 years. I don't know what else to say. How does that come about? How does prophecy like that? Well, Jesus, he when he first came, he didn't come to destroy. That's what the Jews thought. They wanted him to come in as a warrior, kicking ass, quite frankly. And instead, he came to fulfill. And that's what we see here is examples of Jesus is fulfilling the prophecy from the Old Testament, and we're seeing that in the New Testament. I hope this has blessed your heart. Hope you have a great day. If you like this video, like it. If you do, share it with friends. Share it with a family member. Share it with somebody you think needs to hear the Word of God. And subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you do, you'll get notified when I put out new material. It's free. I don't charge anything. My goal, my whole purpose and mission, if you want to call it that, is to simply give you enough examples here in the Bible that, one, you can go read it for yourself, but two, to kind of whet your appetite, whet your curiosity, however you want to put it, to go and to go read this for yourself. Whether if you want to go to church or not, that's up to you, but I just would like to see people start reading the Bible for themselves and learning about, God's love letter really to us. Take care. Love you. Bye.